Hey everyone, it's me, your host, David Washington of the David Washington Show. Hey, there's been some anecdotal news and information out there and some polling about the Black community considering voting Republican. Hey, this conversation we're going to have today is for my community, the Black community. And I'm just going to lay it out there. In one specific poll, it mentioned that Blacks favor Donald J. Trump at a rate of 20%, 22% in this specific poll. In 2016, DJT earned 6% of the Black vote. In 2020, it was 8%. Now, do the Democrats have cause for concern here? At least, Biden does. So let's get to it. It's the David Washington Show. All right, my friends. This is the David Washington Show. And this is your host, David Washington. It's good to be back. And as I was stating, does Donald J. Trump have some hope of getting more of the Black vote and thus in some of these tight swing states have an opportunity for an actual return to the White House? Let's talk about it. So Biden's messaging to the Black community has been non-existent. That's coming from me. Now, granted, lately in the last couple of weeks, it's February 2nd, 2024 right now. In the last couple of weeks, the messaging has improved. The surrogates are out there. They're in South Carolina. They're getting the Biden messaging machine started. But for a while, it just wasn't there. And it just wasn't there explain all the good things that Biden has done for Americans. But what about Black people in general? That's been an issue there that Blacks have, when asked, what is Biden doing for them? And so, Blacks are connected with Trump's victimhood, with all the things that's going on in court, the charges, the bids to keep him off the ballot in some states. It's keeping Trump in the news a lot. And Trump does this very well, plays the victim. And in the Black community, that resonates. That resonates a lot. And so there are individuals, again, this is anecdotal, that are connecting with that particular message. It also helps that Donald J. Trump gave away all that stimulus money. It helps. Free money for everybody. I didn't take any personally, nor did I take any for my businesses, but free money for everybody. That definitely helps. And when you look at Biden, you see that he didn't come through on certain voter reforms or police reforms, and that bothers people in the Black community. Um, Black men are more likely to give Trump a second look than Black women. They're willing to give the Republican Party a second look than Black women. Because regardless of all that Donald Trump is, all that garbage that he is, there's still a message that resonates with Black men. And that message is pretty much straightforward. No promises that aren't going to be kept. When I talk to Black men who are considering voting for Donald Trump, they say he tells it like it is. Just tells it like it is. No promises. Just tells it like it is. They realize, yeah, he could be, racist and things like that. But you know something? You know what he's there, what he represents. You know where he's been. You know what he's done. And isn't that America? Let's look at unemployment. Unemployment for Black men is 2-to-1 to whites. In general, unemployment for Blacks is 2-to-1 to whites. And that's up from a record low since last year, last spring to be exact. That is actually up. So for every one unemployed white person, there are 2 unemployed Black people. That's concern. That is a concern. And when you look at the unemployment rate, you look at programs for the Black community to help spur on, for instance, small businesses in the Black community, reintegrating, returned citizens into the community and making sure there are opportunities for creating businesses for those individuals. The Biden administration has come short, particularly when you look at the over $800 million given to Ukraine, one of Biden's pet projects, when you have Black communities suffering, as well as many other communities in America who could use that money. It is what it is, right? So when you see that kind of investment in a foreign country, and you still see the voter suppression, you see the poor police reform, so lack thereof, you see efforts targeting our Hispanic brothers and sisters, you kind of think, maybe the Democratic Party is not really following through on the promises that it's made. And at the end of the day, it's not about abortion rights. It's not about LGBTQ rights. It's not about Ukraine. It's not about Israel. It's not really about voter suppression or police reforms. It's about the money in my pocket. And that's what some Black people are saying. If I'm well off, people treat me right because it's the color of my money in my pocket that's more important than the color of my skin. Black men have been ignored up until election day when the Democrats come out and say, hey, vote for me, vote for me, vote for me, vote for our candidate, vote for our candidate. It's going to have to be different this time. As a matter of fact, we're well into the election cycle of 2024, and that messaging, that outreach to the Black community, to Black men who should be our leaders in our community, who should be leading our families. That messaging should have happened a long time ago. Promises should have been kept. The political clout should have been spent. The political capital should have been used to get those reforms through Congress. And I'm not even going to talk about reparations. That's no. That, I'm not even going to mention that. I'm in favor of a certain type of reparations, but not the wholesale big bags of money that people are talking about. So my takeaway in all of this is this. You know, with the 80s riddled with crack cocaine, mass incarceration of black men, crack babies, the increase in single motherhood, destroyed communities. The black community has a great deal of responsibility in the situation that we're in now. There's no reason that we have to look at either party or either candidate as our savior. We should look within our own communities. Some say it's too late. Maybe it is. But we shouldn't give up hope, right? Neither presumptive presidential candidate may want a percentage of the black vote to be less than their numbers in 2020. They want to improve on those numbers. The parties want to improve on those numbers. The candidates want to improve on those numbers from the black community. However, is the return on the investment for the black vote, for the community, is it worth it? What is the return on that investment for the black community? Marginal at best, non-existent at worst. We'll see in November 2024. But what we would like to see is your support. So if you really like what you hear, or if you don't, we want to hear what you have to say. So please comment, share this content, let people know that there is the David Washington Show, our flagship podcast. You can't make this shit up. And don't forget, Countertop Politics every Monday, 5 minutes of campaign insight, political innuendo, and the secret sauce to successful and winning campaigns. Again, I am your host, David Washington. I really, really appreciate you being here with us, sharing this content, commenting on this content. We are your political innovators here at Jay and Washington. This is the Jay and Washington Network. Thank you. We'll see you the next time.